Welcome to the Gibberpish podcast.
Well, we're hoping that prick with the bandsaw outside doesn't start up again, but we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Yes, we are. Every time we record here, because we're not recording at Colin's flat, we're recording back in
parents' house, yeah.
back in Bowness. Every time we record here, there's always some fucker messing around with some form of garden tool. Last time it was somebody cutting their grass. The time before that, it was a fucking tractor.
There's always some prick with a dog as well. Like, the dog doesn't need that much walking. I know you need to walk it regularly, but
3 times a day, I'll do it.
three times in my podcast, not okay, motherfucker. But yeah, we're just kind of hoping that the bandsaw is done, and if at any point you hear the technical difficulties, it's because we assume that you can just hear in the background.
And if we put that in by maybe the 4th or 5th time that you would hear that bandsaw, you'd just hear a shout, motherfucker, doors would slam, and you'd hear several fists hitting somebody's chin.
Yeah.
Probably just go out and beat the fuck out of the guy.
So it's back to another regular weekly podcast, both of us here.
Yep.
Somehow, don't know. We kind of seem to have pulled this one out of our arses, but
yeah.
We're here to talk Gibberpish, and it's going to be back to kind of old school format, you know, the classic what you watch and what you listening to, and then we actually going to come back to Florida versus Japan. I've got a good one.
The level of confidence you had in your story makes me feel slightly less about my story. My one's good in a kind of funny, almost childlike way. I think yours might be funny in a kind of what the fuck is going on here, Florida type way.
Mine's is funny in a dark way, and speaking of things that are funny in a dark way, we cannot talk about Deadpool today.
No, we can't. I still have not seen it.
Dom has not. Dom is not happy about that, and Dom will get very angry if you tweet him spoilers at Dom Anderson25.
Yep, Dom Anderson25. Just beware, I am a huge comic book fan. I've probably read every single comic book that is related to the films that you will see in the future. Fair warning, you spoil Deadpool for me, I will spoil Civil War, I will spoil Batman vs Superman, I will spoil fucking Suicide Squad, I will spoil X-Men Age of Apocalypse.
Don't you dare spoil Howard the Duck for me though.
Fuck him. Man. Unless he's voiced by Seth Green, I won't go and watch it. Because at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, it was Seth Green that voices Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Seth Green's been doing alright for him, so I know he can.
Robot Chicken took way off.
Yeah.
People love that show. I fucking love that show.
Yeah. I know he just kind of started off as just kind of somebody you heard of in that one thing. I mean, like Without a Paddle.
Yeah, he was in Without a Paddle. He was in Buffy for a few episodes.
Yeah, he just started off as some guy who was there, but then suddenly he's just in different bits and pieces in place. And
he's
like,
everywhere.
Oh,
he's a voice director. So if you're watching a cartoon, there's a high chance that Seth Green will be directing all the voice actors.
Well, I mean, with Robot Chicken and his work on Family Guy, he works a lot with MacFarlane closely and has been learning from him. So you know, if you're going to learn, you might as well learn from one of the best. Yeah, especially when it comes to audio clarity as well.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Family Guy, but the voice work.
Yeah, his voice work is outstanding. And if you're going to have someone teach you voice acting, Seth MacFarlane, he's got a classically trained voice because it was the same people that trained Sinatra that trained his voice. Dude's got golden pipes.
Yeah.
Dude can sing. He can sing crooner level good, and he can also sing opera level good.
Right.
Yeah, he's done a few operas in his time. A mutual friend of ours, who I won't mention her name, has bought quite a few of his operas.
Right.
Says they're stellar. Dude does not break his voice doesn't break. He doesn't drop a note. He's pitch perfect throughout the entire thing, and he's even got a few albums as well.
I actually have one of his tracks on my iPod. The night they invented champagne, just a single that he released. He was like, I found this thing, handed the music, bought the rights to it, just said fuck it and released it. Like, well, that's kind of a weird entrepreneurial spirit for a guy who most people think of as being a sellout.
Yeah, see, I really like it when you find one of your favourite actors has got that other side of them where he can sing really well or he can play an instrument. Excuse me. The best one was probably when I found out that Hugh Laurie was a blues singer. That was outstanding. And he had a whole back catalogue of blues records.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that, and then he performed live once, and you're like, holy crap, that... Why is the guy who was the butt of the joke for like several seasons of Blackadder able to pull this one out?
What was his character in Blackadder?
He was Darling in season 4. He was...
That wasn't him. Darling was somebody else. He played... Because there was 3 of them in the trenches.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he was in the trenches. He was George.
George,
That's who he was, yeah.
He was the butt of every joke, then you find out that he's got a perfect voice again.
I thought he was Darling because I was thinking of the Prince from the seasons before, where he's when it's the the special, the Jacobite, the Roundhead Rebellion.
Yeah.
But he's Prince George.
Yeah, he's Prince George.
That, and he's just a complete fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then suddenly here he is playing this really soulful blues. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not just that character.
Yeah, he's not just that dude.
But yeah, where are we on? I mean, I suppose just start with what we typically call the beginning of what you've been up to, really.
I have been listening to. We'll just jump right in with the music. I've been listening to a bit of just kind of old school rock, a bit of Def Leppard, a bit of Black Sabbath, a bit of fuck Iron Maiden. How the hell did I forget Iron Maiden? Jesus
That's
Christ.
impressive, especially in this
It's been
house.
a-
I'm sure you can like just point at a wall and find
Yeah.
something Iron Maiden hidden in there somewhere.
Just what you would consider classic rock. I've been listening to it. Just Kiss, bit of Thunder. I don't know why I listen to Thunder, but they've got a few catchy songs.
Look, we all get drunk from time to time.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Then again, when you hear Sports Corner, you understand why I was drinking and listening to a bit of Thunder.
Yeah.
Just to wash the fucking vision of that. It was a better performance than last week, but still it wasn't good enough. We'll get into that in Sports Corner. But Mr. Graham, what have you been listening to this week?
Pretty much fuck all. I've been catching up on podcasts. Managed to hear as I'm walking up, Talk Without the Rhythms breakdown of the Deadpool movie. The best thing about
Every
that for
fucker's
me
seen it but me.
is literally we're waiting for you. But the one thing that really kind of made me real happy with the episode was that the Cancer Man is back, who is one of the old school members of the podcast who just decided to take a step back for a while, but he is coming back in random episodes. But hearing him again just kind of makes me all happy and warm and bitter inside. It's quite nice.
See, I've went the opposite way. I've been taking a step back from most of my usual podcasts. I still listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave, because that's one of my favourite podcasts. That kind of Tell 'em Steve Dave and Jane Silent Bob Get Older, kind of what made me kind of take the step into podcasting. I thought that's funny as hell. I want to try and emulate that. But the other kind of supplementary podcasts like Doug Loves Movies and the SourceFed podcast and Superhero Roundup by SourceFed Nerd have been taking a real dip in quality,
Right.
a real tank in quality, because I rate podcasts on three fronts. Content, if they're talking about something that I'm interested in, I'll listen to it. All the shows have the same, they all have content I'm interested in, that's fine. I like the hosts, all that's fine. I also rate them on how they talk throughout the thing. I know we can't really, how they carry the dialogue, basically.
Okay,
I know
so
we
it's a regular back and forth
Yeah.
versus monologues versus
Yeah.
other styles.
It's not so much the dialogue between the hosts, it's how they speak. And because it's American podcast, Americans abuse the word like. And for some strange reason, that has been really, really bugging me lately. The abuse of the word like.
We do it too.
Yeah, we do it, and that's
Americans do it worse, but
Yeah.
in the UK there's a serious problem where you just start using the word like and
And
you
it just
can't
snowballs.
bring yourself
It
out
just-
of the cycle. Horrible.
why it became more apparent to me when I was in a restaurant over here in Scotland called Frankie and Benny's. It's kind of an American-themed diner type place.
I
Really
think it
good.
started in America.
Yeah, ridiculously good food. Fairly cheap as well. You get a
Shit, mojitos when you're in an airport and you're really angry that your flight's been delayed 45 minutes and you just want a fucking drink and then you go and get a mojito.
Why are you
Shit.
drinking a mojito?
Mojitos are delicious.
What the fuck is a mojito?
It's
Oh wait, is that the mint tequila vodka thing?
rum,
Rum.
white rum, mint, and watermelon. I think.
I'll need to tell my sister-in-law that she's been making them though. She uses
There's,
vodka.
there's no wrong way, really, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Oh.
Alcohol,
Actually, it does sound
mint, watermelon, something in that kind of combination works.
Actually, it does sound quite refreshing. Just the mint and the alcohol.
It is really good.
Yeah.
And then you just sit in a bar, have it, and then suddenly it turns out someone stuffed half a fucking mint tree in the damn drink, and then they
Good
put
for your
it.
digestive system, I suppose.
Not really, because then you try and like drink, and they put the mint at the bottom, so the straw is constantly in it's just fucking easy bartending 101, and then they fucked it up. So much ice in it as well. It's lush.
Yeah, that does actually sound pretty good. Cause I'm trying to expand my drinks taste instead of just going for the whiskey and beer combo. But anyway, I was in Frankie and Benny's, we ordered our food, and the waiter was just circulating around asking us if we were enjoying our meal. Then they got in a conversation about the rugby. And then he said, "Oh, when I was waiting tables last week when the rugby was on, there was this guy and he came up and he ordered his food and he bought 3 rounds of beer and then he ordered his meal and he had 3 fucking steaks in there and he used the word 18 times in one sentence and everyone else is just nodding along. I'm like, shut up before I kill you. I have a steak knife in my hand. Stop saying the word and it's only become more apparent in it. And when I review Colin edits the podcast and I listen to it, make sure that he's picked up on everything. He usually gets it right. And your favourite, you usually get it right most of the time. Occasionally you'll miss the odd burp or fart or sneeze or something like that, but I genuinely think you leave that in for just a random funny moment or something.
It has more to do with just at a certain point it becomes too edited, and I don't want to.
We don't want to stunt the growth of the show. If we cut down all the fart jokes or the audible farts or something, it becomes pretty boring.
Can't believe I missed a fart. It's just hard to keep a track of where all the little.
And it's not in any of the newer episodes, but in the kind of earlier episode, there's an audible little. It's pretty funny. But when I'm listening back to the old shows, I can just hear myself saying the word over and over again, and it's really beginning to bug me. And the reason I'm trying to kind of clean up my speech is because I don't want to be sitting in a courtroom situation and say, "Lord, my lord, he totally stabbed that guy in the face." It's so bad.
Buying it order.
Buying it order, totally order. I mean, if you went up to your mate and stabbed him in the face, you'd be fuming, mate. I want to clean up my speech and get rid of that because it's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's
completely unnecessary, and I hate the fact that I do it.
There's a theory that it is a kind of mental stopgap that you throw in an easy, simple word where or an I do the some people use the like, and then they put that into the sentence so that the mouth is given it's running ahead basically of where the brain is.
It's
the brain
used to kind of
keep
slow
forcing
yourself
words in
down.
there. I just did it right now, and it's really fucking obvious. And once you start noticing it, you can't not notice it. So welcome to the world of people who drink too much. That's why I do it.
Yeah. So makes just idiots. Yeah. Morons.
Yeah, we'll have a very good moron story for Japan versus America. I've got a great moron story.
I'm looking forward to it.
But I suppose music, catching up on podcasts, it's quite enjoyable. I go through phases. I've been asking through various groups that I'm on. I'll probably just put it up on Twitter if there's any good recommendations people have for podcasts.
Yeah, I'm needing a new podcast. Maybe some more Scottish podcasts, or maybe some more British podcasts. Because American podcasts, I'll still listen to them, and a majority of the podcast content is American people.
Yeah.
You get the occasional, say, Canadian podcast, and there was a Canadian podcast I was listening to. It was some stereotypical Canadian name. It was like Bacon and Moose or something, or Maple Syrup Moose or some shit like that.
Well, if you get in there with the first name, you might as well go for it.
It was a pretty funny podcast, but it was just Canadian angst. I couldn't really pay attention to what they were talking about because they were getting so angry and just going, "What's this all about in A?" And it was fucking hysterical. I'll find the name of the podcast and I'll shoot it over to you. It's worth a listen. But
I know Badger and Pals are going to make their move onto iTunes soon.
I look forward to that because the episode that you done with them was really good. Just the kind of back and forth between they three and yourself.
It's a surprisingly fluid Skype call, which is strange because what we do is we're sitting in the same room, so we know when one of us is about to talk, we can see it just kind of rise or something like that. When you're on a Skype call, there's nothing like that because you can't have. I suppose you can have a video call between about 8 people. I think is the max.
Yeah, conference call or something.
Yeah, there's a conference call now. It peaks out at 8 people, and then you have to buy like a business pack, which is good because it used to be that as soon as you added a third person, you would be stuck with just audio. So they've upgraded that. So that might help if we ever do more Skype podcasting calls. There's a possibility. There's some people want to talk to, people want to work with. But catching up on the podcasts, looking for any recommendations people have got. But I finished watching Arrested Development last week.
You sent me a few Facebook messages saying that you struggled through the later seasons.
Season 1 is very kind of slow paced. Season 2, the crazy pills get popped open and then suddenly shit hits the fan. Season 3 is just a kind of continuation, just a big escalation of random crap going on. The problem is that after season 3, the show was basically cancelled on regular television and it stopped in about 2006. Season 4 was made in 2013. There's the massive age gap between different people, like Michael Cera, for example, has completely, he ran right through puberty in the time the show was off air, and it's very funny to look at. You then have the older cast members, the kind of mid-30s characters, roughly, the parent characters. They've all aged, some of them not very well. David Cross has stayed very well in shape. He's almost, you can't really tell a difference between him in 2007 to 2013, which is funny because I went back and ended up watching Small Soldiers with my brother. Don't know if you've seen that movie in a while, the Gorgonites and the Commando Elite.
Oh yeah, with Tommy Lee Jones was.
Tommy Lee Jones was the voice of Chip Hazard.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome movie. The movie itself was really good. Seeing David Cross that far back is fucking hysterical. The man looks the same, but he just seems to have grown into himself. It's very strange.
Slightly more hair back then.
Not much.
Was he still bald?
No, slightly more hair in that he now has a mustache. That's the only hair that he's really grown since those movies. But no, he's relatively the same. Still has the bald patch in his head, which kind of adds to his character. It's very nice. But he transitioned. It was a weird thing of seeing the cast of Arrested Development this week and other things, because having finished season 4 was shot in a very strange way. They decided to give focus each episode on one character. So you'd have Michael's episode, you'd have George's episode, you would then also get Lindsay's episode, then you get George Michael's episode, and then you'd eventually rotate back round towards the end of the season. And by halfway through, you're starting to see the pieces and the setups for some of the jokes are really obvious, that somebody who's messing with the character in an earlier episode is now someone in a later episode that you get to see their perspective. So it's just a load of people running over, just kind of missing each other by inches and stuff like that. It just doesn't work. It's funny, the payoff for the reformatting of the show isn't worth it. So it was okay, but if I was making a recommendation on Arrested Development, I'd say watch 1, 2, and 3, and at the end of season 3, 2 of the characters literally sail off into the sunset. Done.
Just leave it at that.
Turn off Netflix. Done. You're done. Don't continue watching.
It's the same as my view on Scrubs. When it gets to season 9, is it season 9? Where JD leaves?
8.
No, season 8.
End of 8.
Yeah. JD leaves and they have that Peter Gabriel the Book of Love moment when he's getting the playback of all his favourite moments, he's getting the play forward, all the people are standing in the corridor to welcome, see him off. Leave it at that, because the subsequent series are shit. You will see some people that you like, but not a show that's worth watching.
Yeah, if you get your chance to cut the show, it would be at the end of season 8.
Which is why I don't own the DVDs past season 8. I have season 1, 2, 3, 4,
There
5,
was
6.
only season 9 and they cut it.
Yeah.
They just said, no, 9 didn't work.
It felt
Shut
longer.
down.
I thought they'd
it
done
was
8.
so
and
bad.
I thought they'd done 2 extra seasons after that. Maybe it just felt that long.
Yeah, it just felt like you're watching something get beat up for way too long. But yeah, I started watching, or finished Arrested Development, kind of powered through just to say I'd finished the whole thing, and then started watching Archer.
I've been told to watch Archer. I've not gotten into it yet.
You should watch Archer. Definitely on, like, it's one of those things where people are talking about it and like, it can't be that good. 6 13 episode seasons, each one about 22 minutes, and it gets absolutely. I had one of my first kind of outbursts of uncontrollable laughter in a long time watching the show, and you know what happens when, like, it's like when you lost it at Kenny's Lube Store. That level of laughter.
That level of laughter.
I had to stop. Like, I had to pause Netflix and then just let it out, and then just stop laughing at a guy with a grenade shoved up his ass.
It's quite funny.
And I'm gonna start again. Okay, so, but definitely, I mean, it's a weird animation style where it's kind of all of it's focused on the characters. The background is just kind of almost drawn on in a weird way. It's still, it's a consistent artistic style between the characters and the real world, but it feels more like it's people moving a cutout of a character along the backdrop of the world than any kind of interactive, like Family Guy thing. The people in Family Guy belong in that world.
Alright.
With Archer, there's like a slight disconnect, and I think it might be, I think they've all got a black outline, but it's a bit thicker than normal, but it works, because you don't really pay attention to it that much, but also the like kind of weird tie-in. I said before we started recording that there was a weird tie-in between the two. The matriarch of Arrested Development is the matriarch of Archer, and it's great because her character towards the end of Arrested Development just starts going more and more batshit crazy. Archer, she's flat out batshit crazy because she's a spy master. She's the one running I suppose it's technically an agency. Absolutely brilliant, just kind of little, not quite the actual, it wasn't the joke they were intending, but the fact that it's there makes me laugh like another level. Just to imagine that this was also like, this is like her double life or something like this. But the Archer series is definitely fantastic. Well worth a watch.
I'll add it to the list.
Yeah, it's a long list.
Yeah.
You knocked anything off the list watch wise?
I
Definitely didn't knock Deadpool off the list.
Nope, I have not seen that yet. I did finish a cartoon series called Gravity Falls. I don't know if you've heard of this.
No, don't think so.
Gravity Falls, it is I find it a very funny TV show. It's by a director called Alex Hirsch, but it's about a little kind of sleepy village called Gravity Falls where all these weird supernatural events keep happening, and you basically find out that it is the centre of all the weird goings on in the entirety of America. It features 2 kids from California who get sent to live with their uncle, or the great uncle Stan, who gets called Grunkle Stan through the entire show.
Okay.
And he is he's a curmudgeonly old former 80s businessman who runs a kind of horror attraction called the Mystery Shack, and it's all weird shit that they get fake stuffed monkeys and like cut it in half and attach a fish to it and say it's a merman, and people pay thousands of dollars to come and see this. So they have to live with their Grunkle Stan for I think it's 2 months or something.
Grunkle Stan is a great name for someone who runs that shop.
Yeah, it's just a fantastically funny series. Quite a few big name voice actors in it. I mean, John DiMaggio's in there for a few episodes. Linda Cardellini, who is Hawkeye's wife in Age of Ultron,
Okay.
she voices a character in it. It's pretty funny. You ever heard of a TV show called Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah.
Kristen Schaal, the girl who's in that, voices one of the
I
main.
know Kristen Schaal
Yeah.
from The Daily Show.
Yeah, she voices Mabel, who's one of the twins.
Very unique voice. Wouldn't say it's a great voice.
It works with Mabel because Mabel's just meant to be this little innocent girl
Okay.
who just loves rainbows and stars and ponies and knitting jumpers and her pet pig Waddles, and it's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pet Pig Waddles.
Yeah, who's actually probably one of the most human characters in the entire show.
Alright.
Like every time somebody looks at Waddles, they just kind of break down. If they're trying to lie to him, these models kind of stares at them and does that kind of animal head cock thing.
Yeah.
And they just go, "Fine, I was lying," and they break down into tears. But the end of the show, it was quite a big payoff because the whole kind of end of the series was based on a character called Bill Cipher, who his only purpose in life is to take over the world and remake it in his own weird image.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, but Bill Cipher is basically the Illuminati symbol brought to life.
Okay.
He's just a triangle with an eye and a top hat.
Alright
But
then.
he is the most powerful being in the universe. But he is contained within this kind of weird kind of shield and Gravity Falls, so they used to disable the shield and Gravity Falls so he can spread his weird all over the world. But to do that, he needs a secret that's been contained in Grunkle Stan's brother, who's called Grunkle Ford.
Right.
They're both called Stan, like Stanley and Stanford, but Grunkle Stanley is Stan, Grunkle Stanford is Grunkle Ford.
Okay.
And voiced by J.K. Simmons, who was J. Jonah
Awesome.
Jameson in
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Does it pretty well. And basically the big payoff for the end of it is they have to wipe Grunkle Stan's memory because he invades his mind space to try and get the secret from Grunkle Ford, but they've done the old switcheroo. He's put on Grunkle Ford's clothing, wipes his mind, but then Grunkle Stan's just kind of sitting there as a vegetable for most of the show. But it's a happy ending. They get his memory back and he runs off into the Mabel and Dipper, because they don't know Dipper's real name, but he's got a birthmark of the Big Dipper on his forehead, so everyone just calls him Dipper. It's not the most technically brilliant show, but it's an awesome show. I got a great kick out of it.
Where did you say it was set? It was Gravity Falls. What state is that in?
It doesn't say. It's just it's near California.
It's sounding a lot like Alabama, I'll be honest.
There's a lot of...
I'm just imagining a lot of deep southern accents.
It is a fairly swampy looking place. So yeah, it
Might be Louisiana.
It might be, but if you're into cartoons, I'd give it a shout. Somebody recommended it to me at the same time I started watching Adventure Time. Adventure Time was good, but it's going way too long. It's in its 8th or 9th season.
Right.
Gravity Falls done 3 seasons, and Alex Hirsch said, "I'm going to end it now before it becomes this big thing, before we jump the shark." He's doing season 3, and the way season 3 ended, they're going to maybe do a special. I hope they do a special just to tie everything up, because there's still a few loose ends. We still don't know Dipper's real name. I want to find out Dipper's real name. It'll probably just be something boring like Steve, because Alex Hirsch has this thing of drawing things out to the point where you cannot fathom what he's really going to say, and then he'll just drop the bombshell. Yeah, his name's Steve.
Yeah.
And he likes to put little clues in the episodes. There'll be little backwards messages that if you play the episode backwards, it says the real message.
Okay, that's
He likes
a
to put
bit
in,
of work.
He likes to put in little ciphers. He likes to make you work for the full story.
Right.
And he'll probably just say, "Oh, remember in episode 1 of season 2, if you read the message back on Dipper's journal, you see his real name. You waited all this time for nothing.
Yeah.
You already knew what his real name was."
I actually had a question about Adventure Time because I don't want to talk about Deadpool, but when I went out to see it, we fucked up the planning and had like 4 hours to spend in Glasgow. Before we went to the bar, we went down to Megabytes Cafe, which you've talked about before,
Yeah,
I think.
love that place.
Nice place.
Yeah.
Really was surprised to see like, oh, this actually does feel quite homely. It does feel like
And the fact that they have a Street Fighter 2 arcade machine that's set to free mode, fucking awesome.
that was the free. Fuck.
Yeah, it's free. I spent when I went there for the opening, I spent about 2 hours just sitting playing Street Fighter with people. It was great.
Me and my mate John played Space Invaders. I may have put a YouTube video up of him failing. I won. I double.
How can you fail at Space Invaders?
We said it was down to last life. I had my pretty shitty score. He had a very shitty score, and I said, "Don't worry. All John has to do is basically double his score, and he can win with it. As long as he doesn't die, he'll be fine." As I say that, he rushes left. Bomb comes down, wasted. So literally, as I finish saying the sentence, out comes the bomb that kills him. Fantastic. Loved to film it, and it was really funny to see the look in his face. But yeah, I made a quick edit of it and threw it up on YouTube. So I'm sure I must have tweeted out the link to someone, but I'll see what happens.
Cool.
The next place we stopped off was actually, I say we went to Megabytes, but first we hit a place called Geekaboo. Don't know if you've ever heard of this place. On Queen Street.
Yeah, I go to quite a few conventions and stuff, and they always have a stall at their conventions, and they've just got some really, really cool items, but it's horrendously expensive. I mean, it makes Forbidden Planet look cheap.
I didn't check price tags. I was just kind of idly wandering around.
Yeah.
But I forgot how obsessed with pop vinyl some people are.
Yeah, I have 3 and that's all I'm buying.
I now actually have one.
Yeah, I seen you had the Colossal Titan.
The Colossal Titan from Attack on Titan, just for the lols, because they're in HMV now.
Yeah.
There's a HMV in Glasgow. There isn't one anymore. Just a record store that now does more kind of. They moved into like DVDs and it's
Yeah,
become like
DVDs,
pop culture
Blu-rays,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
just headphones. Basically, they're more a electronics and hi-fi store now, because they sell CDs and hi-fis and headphones and shit.
And if you go downstairs in the Glasgow one, I think it's the Argyle Street one, you can find their vinyl section, which is hipster as fuck, but
Yeah.
at the same time also contains Five Finger Death Punch vinyls.
Really?
Yeah, didn't know those were a thing, but there was a bunch of stuff in there, and there's an entire like 3 rows of just pop vinyl.
Yeah, they're
In a
becoming
HMV.
ridiculously huge.
And I only bought the Colossal Titan because I was looking around and I found the Eren Yeager in Titan form. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Took a look at it, and at the back it says there's a Colossal Titan one, special edition, 6 inches tall, rather than normal size because it's the Colossal Titan.
Yeah.
Found that quite funny. Went to try and find one. Doesn't exist in HMV or Geekaboo or anywhere else in that area. So to go and buy one off of Amazon. So I have one now. Middle finger to Glasgow's pop vinyl thing.
The only 3 I have is Vegeta,
Obviously.
because why the fuck not? I have the Dark Knight Batman, and I have Batman 66 Joker. I only bought... Well, someone bought me the Joker for my birthday, and I thought, well, we can't have the Joker without Batman, so I couldn't find the 66 Batman for cheap.
Okay.
It was about 30 quid online because it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Because it was celebrating the release of the complete run of Batman 66.
Right.
It was a pack thing, you bought this and you got the pop vinyl free. I wasn't willing to pay £30 for a Batman pop figure, then I found the Dark Knight Batman for £5. Fuck, I'm having that. Then I bought Vegeta because why the hell not?
Yeah.
I was buying my niece likes pop figures. She's got all the Frozen ones.
Yeah.
So she was looking for one. The other sister that's not the one with the Iceman powers.
Elsa and I think it might be just called the other one. I'm not entirely sure.
The other one, Anna, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know.
Does she sing "Let It Go"? No, I don't give a fuck.
The other one that's not the famous one.
That song touched my heart. That was worth it just for the look on your face. I'm sorry, podcast listeners, that was not good podcasting.
No,
but it was, if I'd had my phone ready, I'd have just taken the photo.
Yeah, fuck that movie. The only reason I've seen it is because my niece loves it, and obviously it's my first niece. Bend over backwards for her. If she's crabby with fire in a movie, and it's like, what's something else? No, Frozen. I have to watch it for the 9th time. But yeah, I went and bought her Anna from this little pop vinyl shop that used to be in Falkirk. It's since shut down. But I went there and I was going to buy kind of one a week type thing because I seen Vegeta and I said, oh, there's Super Saiyan Goku, but I don't want to buy 2 pop vinyls. I don't want to buy 3 pop vinyls at once because then that's almost 40 quid down the drain. Don't have that much money to spend. So I bought Vegeta and I bought Anna from my niece, and I said, do you get any other ones? And he said, we're getting a few God Gokus in. I said, oh, could you send me one aside? I said, sure. And at the time I came back, they were fucking shut down.
Damn.
Really annoyed about that. He said, right, we'll do you a deal. We don't know how well they're going to sell it. We should charge you about 20 quid for it, but we'll give you it for $8.99. Fucking done.
Yeah.
I came back and it was just shutters up. I was like, motherfucker. Now I have to pay 30 quid for it online.
Yeah.
But fuck it. I'm done with pop vinyls. I have my 3. I'm sorted.
Yeah, I don't intend to get that many. I want to get 1 or 2 just to kind of have around to just kind of, look at the thing.
That was my plan because my Vegeta sits on top of my PC.
Okay.
And then Batman and the Joker just stay in the boxes.
Wow, that level of nerd, huh?
No, I just don't have the space to display them because
okay.
I have my Amiibos, I have my Street Fighter figures, I have my Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Because why the hell not have a Dragon Ball? I have all my Gundams, and I have no other space for anything else. And I have my Ryu figure as well. He sits there kind of, and I've got my brother has all his Transformers Masterpiece figures,
right?
Which are works of art in of themselves. You think it's just a normal toy, but obviously the name Masterpiece suggests that it's the big high end product.
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of care put into these figures, and they sit there, and he's got Masterpiece Soundwave, who was the tape deck, and he's got Masterpiece Wheeljack, who's a Lancia. He was one of the later series. They called him one of the wreckers. They're basically just guerrilla warfare.
Okay.
They go in and fuck shit up before the real military come in. Covert Ops is that's their proper title, but they just call themselves the wreckers because they wreck shit.
Alright.
He's got one of the 2 Masterpiece figures, so I have no space to put any of these other figures. To the point, I'm buying a kind of bookcase thing to put my extra DVDs and Blu-rays in and have a bottom shelf just for all my toys.
Nerd life.
Nerd life.
This is my toy shelf. Surely the toy shelf should be higher up so people can see how cool you are.
It's more higher up. I don't give a fuck about looking cool. I'm never bothered about looking cool. It's just it should be that high up to keep them away from my niece because my Gundam's down there. She has a habit of touching one in particular.
Right.
It's my favourite one.
Which
it's
one?
Wing Zero.
Alright,
She
yeah.
keeps
Wing
picking
Zero.
it up and goes, oh, this toy, and then she throws it down. I'm like, no, don't do that.
You've had Wing Zero for ages.
No, I bought the model kit.
Okay, right. Because
I had all
you had a Wing Zero
Yeah, I
thing,
had all the toys when I was younger, but I seen the model kit. I actually bought it at MCM last year.
which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yep, because big news for both of us.
Keep going.
So I bought Wing
Talk
Zero.
about your toys.
Built it, then my niece comes in and goes, this is cool. And because it can transform into bird mode, she thought, this is like a paper airplane. Threw it across the room.
Between what your niece did to your Vegeta toy, that was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Did she not walk in and say, don't like his hair, and then
No.
smashed it?
She took the toy off my PC and went, who's this? And I thought, well, fuck it, I'll see if this sticks. And I told her about Dragon Ball Z, and I saw all these cool people, and they have cool battles in air, they can fly, they can shoot beams and stuff, they can transform. And Lily went, she can fly. Like,
Never tell your niece anything
Right.
can fly.
he just went, oh, so this toy can fly. And the TV show, Vegeta can fly. She just went, let's see if he can. Bang! Threw him across the room. I love my niece to death for shit like this. It's some of the crap she comes away with.
Oh,
yeah,
it's so good. But other than that, I mean, watching, listening, and all that, yeah, I can't read, so we don't do what you've been reading section.
I've not been reading much. Although I did read Deathstroke Volume 1 Gods of War,
Okay.
where Deathstroke is kind of along the same lines as Vader Down,
Right.
where he's been beaten and broken to the point where Deathstroke is just completely unhinged.
Right.
He is killing anything that gets in his way. His
Not-
son
not
has
a
been
good place to be.
yeah, his son Jericho's been kidnapped. I don't know what happens to his daughter, because I think it's Jade Wilson,
Right.
who becomes Ravager. I don't think she's in the picture. It's New 52, so I think they might have replaced Jade Wilson with Jericho Wilson, who becomes a very, very powerful metahuman.
Right.
But he's been kidnapped. Deathstroke, I almost said Deadpool. Oh, fuck. Deathstroke is basically just out to murder people and get his son back, and it's fucking terrifying how he does it. Like he's got a knife, like a massive knife, and he's got his sword. And at one point he stabs someone in the throat with the sword and lifts them up with the long sword. And you just think, fuck, Deathstroke is not fucking around.
Yeah.
So I read that, but that's all I've really read this week. In fact, for the past while, that's all I've really read that isn't some kind of either rugby code book, because I got asked to ref a game a while back at the start of the year. So I read the kind of rule book. A lot of interpretation, because even though there's the rules that says use your discretion. So if it doesn't look like he went out, don't call it out.
Right.
So, right, okay, that doesn't make much sense to me. But it's the rules, and I got paid to be there, so I don't give a fuck. Yeah, so that's the only thing I've really read. Games-wise, what have you been playing this week?
Oh shit, I forgot we play video games.
Yeah, we do play video games.
Oh damn. Well, if you've been on my front Xbox and you see me, normally it just says Netflix because of aforementioned Arrested Development and Archer. But I have just been working my way through. I tried playing Ark again, and because I'm worried that Ark is Ark Survival Evolved. You are basically create a custom character. You're
right, I
dropped
remember
into a dinosaur-filled world and told to survive. So I keep trying to play it in hopes that I didn't waste 27 quid, because otherwise I'm in serious shit because I just wasted 27 quid, and just had issues with trying to get. Oh, I played Destiny as well. Just trying to get back into that. Maybe working on something in Destiny, so I need to get good at the game. And just running around in that and just playing around and trying to remember how to play the game. The problem is you set it down for a week and you're like, how do buttons work? Because I put it down to play Halo, and then just return to say, oh yeah, crap, I need to learn how to like boost jump on this game as opposed to boost jump. And I find that because the games are so similar. I mean, Destiny is developed by Bungie. Studio 343 took over Halo, so they're aping the same look. But Destiny has more of a kind of free-flowing feel, whereas the Halo 5 is kind of focusing on your Spartan's abilities. Like, it's all about the ground pound attacks, you've got your boosters, your jump jets and stuff like that. The control schemes are so different, and I go into one game and think I can do something from the other game. So the amount of times I'm pressing B in Destiny trying to use my like sideways jumps and stuff like that to lunge out the way of bullets, and then I just end up trying to melee a missile in midair. Not great, I'll be honest with you. Kind of getting pissed at it, but I did come up against random stuff a couple of nights ago, and you can jump into any part of the game at any level. There's no real kind of limitations. You will get your ass handed to you though at certain points if you try and jump ahead too far. But I jumped into a lower level, and then we just had a complete clusterfuck of like there's so many different factions, and it's quite cool because if there's nobody around, the factions will start fighting each other. And then just having like one mission start where you're trying to defend an area for about 2 minutes while they do an upload. You're just like, oh, this is kind of cool, it's very intense. But then someone from another mission trains in, like they're running away from something, and it follows them into our kind of area where we're trying to fight off the horde. And then there's like a horde of enemies plus all these guys jumping around smashing the shit out of everything that we now also have to deal with. By the way, one of them we can't kill, which is just weird because I'm like unloading shot after shot with an assault rifle into the guy, and he just isn't even blinking. His shields don't come down, there's nothing powering him, he's just immortal. And it's an AI, so I'm like, well, it's not somebody hacking the game, it's just for some reason, I think it was from the other guy's game where he ran in and kind of dragged it into our issue, that he was just dealing with someone he couldn't kill, which is probably why he ran away. But he fucked us over properly because I died in a low level area. I don't like that at all.
It's always a pain in the ass when you do that, especially when games that do New Game Plus, like when your RPGs introduce a New Game Plus and you go back and redo the old levels. And if they do it right, the enemies scale with you. So you'll come back, just say you finish the game, you're at level 80, then you go back and do New Game Plus. You go back to the starting levels, you're just looking for an easy ride, just like batting enemies away left, right and centre, or maybe total party KOing them in one hit. Then you go back and they've scaled to a level above you and you die in the starting area or the tutorial area. You just think, fuck this game, fuck New Game Plus, I'm not playing it again. That happened to a friend of mine playing Dark Souls. Played through it the first time, then went back to the beginning areas and just thought, fuck, I'm nowhere near prepared for this.
The scaling in certain parts of that game is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I enjoy them. I have my fetish for pain. That's fine. What are you playing?
I am playing Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 1 because it was free on the PlayStation Network.
That would be the only reason to play that game.
It's actually really good.
Huh?
Really good. The Revelations series, in my mind, takes over where Resident Evil 5 finished, because 6 to me doesn't exist. I don't want to see alcoholic Chris Redfield. It's a good game if you remove the story. The gameplay's fine.
Right.
I've kind of got it down to that's why I don't like that game that much. The story's pretty shit. Gameplay and everything's fine. The mechanics that they introduced with the dual wielding with Leon, with the kind of the slide mechanic that they gave to Chris, where you can knock down enemies and kind of shoot them on the ground.
Right.
Then with Jake and Sherry, you can basically just punch everything, and because you have some weird virus, you can knock their head off. There's a whole lot of crap, but it made for a good game. But Resident Evil Revelations, you play as Jill and I think his name was Hunter, basically a replacement Chris Redfield, and there's another side of the story you play as Chris and a woman named Jessica, who through playing the game you find she's a double agent. But Revelations 2 you play as Claire Redfield and a girl named Moira Burton, who is Barry Burton's daughter from previous games.
I remember hearing about Moira.
Yeah, I'll get to her in a second.
Okay.
Then there's the other side of that story you play as Barry Burton, who is still a card-carrying member of the NRA with all his weapons being fucking badass, despite the fact he must be pushing 60 now.
But does he want a sandwich?
No, he does not want a sandwich. In fact, he might do. I have not got that far in the game, because there's a point where he should be more cleaning house, given the type of weapon that I'm using, and the type of weapon that Barry is synonymous with using.
Right.
His fucking massive magnum. I should be just cleaning house, but nope, these fucking zombies are stronger than that. And his companion is a little girl named Natalia, who can't use weapons. All she does is point out enemies and hit them with bricks.
That'd be pretty good, actually. As far as companions go, like actually throwing full-size bricks at someone, that's pretty hardcore.
She doesn't throw them, she just runs up and hits them with a brick.
That's actually kind of funny.
It's funny, but at the same time you're just thinking, couldn't I get another companion that uses gun? And the game's actually pretty good. You start off, Claire is working for a place called TerraSave,
right?
They're trying to clean up the aftermath of Resident Evil Revelations 1, because a man-made city called Terra Grigia virus attack happened, the entire city crumbled. So they're just trying to clean up that mess and rebuild Terra Grigia.
Right.
But I don't know how I've not got that far into the game. Forces that are working against TerraSave kidnap Claire, Moira, and the rest of TerraSave, put them on this island to test their new experiments on, test the new virus on, no idea. But within about 5 minutes of the game, or playing as Barry, he says, oh, that looks like the Ouroboros virus. You're just thinking, oh, here we go, it's going to be a Wesker child. Motherfucker, we're finally getting Alex Wesker, and it's not going to be good. I'm not looking forward to meeting Alex Wesker, because either A, it's going to be a whiny little fucking annoying brat who's thinking, I'm better than Albert Wesker, or it's going to be a woman that's thinking, I'm going to do better than Wesker, I'm going to take over the world, and she's actually going to succeed. Either way, I'm not really invested in the story, I'm just in it for more Resident Evil type gameplay.
I do like that the forces working against an organisation have the idea of just kidnapping the organisation. That's a pretty fucking effective plan.
Put them on an island with bio-organic weapons that will munch their faces off, that are
technical interlude, but now back to face-munching monsters.
Yeah, face-munching monsters. So, pretty, like you said, pretty good idea, taking an entire opposing company, put them on an island with monsters that take a fair few bullets to go down. With Claire, all you have is a pistol and a shotgun, and you can take care of them fairly easily, because you can stun them with Moira, who doesn't use any weapons. She uses a flashlight and a crowbar, but the flashlight stuns the enemies because they're light sensitive. Again, it's a bit of a bullshit mechanic, but I like it. It works with the character. She's not afraid. She doesn't like to use guns because she's Barry's daughter. Barry's all about using guns. Maybe she's trying to be that rebellious teenager. I don't know.
I'll show you by putting myself in danger.
And using a crowbar. I'm not killing them with bullets if I use a blunt weapon. That's genuinely what she said. It's one of her lines.
Hacking them to pieces with a blunt weapon.
Stabbing them in the face with a crowbar. Much less brutal than a bullet to the head.
Okay.
But then, when it goes to Barry's campaign, the fighting monsters, they look a bit decayed, like he's getting there after Claire and Moira have made their way through the island.
Right.
He's taking a clean-up detail. They're looking a bit more decayed, but for some reason, they don't go down anywhere near as quickly as they did in Claire's campaign. You're sitting there with Barry's magnum, shooting them in the fucking head, and they're just like, fucking go down, you prick! Stop coming at me! Bullets! Hurt! Zombie!
That's how it works. That's how it always works.
It always worked since the early days when when Barry was walking about going, I hope this isn't Chris's blood, and saying horribly crappy stunted dialogue. All in all, this first episode, if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. There's a couple of things I'd like to see done better. I'd like to see them remove supporting characters, in the sense of they don't support you with gunfire or with ammunition or anything like that. They just support you with enemy spotting and enemy stunning.
Right.
That's it. And the fact that it's two, well, I suppose Moira's kind of a teenager, she could hold her own if she had a weapon, but the fact that Barry's companion is a little girl isn't...
Is there an explanation as to who the little girl is?
Not yet. She's just on the island and Barry goes, no, I'm not leaving a little girl on her own in this
Oh,
island.
right, it's someone just
You're
from
coming
the
with
island.
me.
And then
But she can sense the zombies.
So that's probably Alex Wesker.
She's not blonde. All the Wesker children are blonde.
Wigs.
No, it's very Aryan.
I know, but just you could disguise it. It wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, true. I mean, if it turns out to be Alex Wesker, it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'd buy into it because it's just Resident Evil cheese. No one plays Resident Evil games for the story anymore. They just play it for the action, and it's still pretty horror based.
Yeah.
Because even though you have this companion, there's only one person that can really fight. You get the sense that it's all on you, and ammo is very scarce.
Right.
And everything takes about 3-4 bullets to kill if you're aiming centre mass. If you're aiming for the head, it's 2 bullets. But if you shoot, the gun goes all over the fucking place. Because you
No
get,
double taps, basically.
yeah, you get the sense that Claire is very inexperienced with guns. She's done Raccoon City, then the island where she had to rescue Chris when she fought Wesker and cleared up the Veronica virus.
Okay.
Veronica. Then she's not really, you get the sense that she's not really used a gun since. She's been pushing papers and shit like that.
Right.
She's been working behind the scenes in an official sense. Then you get Barry, you get the sense that he's old, so he can't really hold a gun straight anymore. But then you see him punching zombies in the face for his melee attack. Because if you stun them with Natalia, who throws a brick at them, and if she hits them in the leg with a brick, they'll go into this kind of crumple state. If you go up with Barry or Claire and push R2,
Right.
Claire does this kind of weird back heel kick. Barry just punches him square in the face. It's pretty awesome. But yeah,
Old
I'd
Man
recommend.
Barry.
Yeah, Old Man Barry's kicking ass. I'm not a fan of the support type characters. I'd rather have the Revelations 1 type support characters where they have weapons and they can hold their own like they did previously.
Okay.
But I'm hoping the Moira pulls her head out of her ass and she gets a gun instead of this crap where, oh, I have a crowbar, that'll work. No, you're fighting flesh munching zombies. Do not get close to them.
Yeah.
When Barry gets here, he's going to shove a gun in your hand and you're going to have to use it.
I like to think that it might be something to do with what you said, where it creates the feel where it's all on you.
Yeah, I
I
like
don't
that.
think they're smart enough, though. I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
I
Having
do-
seen various Resident Evil games in the past and played a few myself,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that intentional. I think it's just, well, what if the person was a flashlight?
Yeah, again, it does make for a good character dichotomy, but I would just like someone else that could fight on their own. But like Colin said, it does create that everything is on you. You have to conserve your ammo, give them all your healing items, because the minute your health drops, they will just come up and spray you with a first aid spray. It's that responsive. And
That's
if you're,
pretty good.
they've introduced a mechanic called bleeding, so if you get hit with a really strong attack, you will start bleeding.
Right.
You start limping, you can't move as quickly. You could be at full health, but if you've been hit with a character that inflicts, well, by an enemy that can inflict bleed, you start limping. Blood keeps splattering all over the screen, so you can't see fuck all.
Right.
So then your support character has to come up and get you with a tourniquet, which stops the bleeding and puts you back up to full health.
I'm
to-
guessing tourniquets are pretty damn scarce.
Yep, you get about. I found in episode 1, I've played it for about maybe 2 hours. I've come across 2 in
Alright.
both campaigns. So I've been carefully avoiding getting hit with bleed attack. But yeah, it's just the fact that they work kind of like necromorphs in Dead Space. You can shoot them in the head, that's going to fuck off. If you shoot their limbs, that does more damage. It's all about stunning them to the point you can get them on the ground, then you do your finisher. It's kind of a combo-based system in that sense.
Strange.
Yeah, but it's just trying to copy Dead Space. It's not as good as Revelations 1 so far, but I still like it. It's still better than 6, and way better than 5.
I wonder when we're going to go back to a zombie game that is a bit more kind of classical in the sense of not being anything with superpowers, nothing, the viruses, nothing, just you're in a city infected with zombies, get out.
Yeah,
I'd love to see
like
that.
a better Dead Rising.
Well, that's too cartoony superpowered. I'm talking like a Left 4 Dead style. I'd love another Left 4 Dead.
Oh, Left 4 Dead games are so good.
I know they've got the super zombies that kind of throw it out a bit. Maybe like a Left 4 Dead without super zombies, and have the issue be like ammo management, survival tactics, higher ground, stuff like that.
Yeah, but the only problem with Left 4 Dead is you got massive ammo caches that filled your ammo back up to full, and you always had at least, depending on your weapon, if you went for a shotgun, you had at least 80 bullets to spare.
Yeah.
With about 8 bullets in the chamber of your shotgun. Then if you went for a machine gun or a light machine gun, you had about 300 bullets with a clip full of about 120.
But that's because it's run and gun and you're fighting your way between
Yeah.
the safe houses, so it kind of makes sense. Unless you want to stop and pick weapons up off the ground. If you want to just get in there and make a hell of a mess, you need that type of ammo capacity. But if you maybe scale down the run and gun, spread the ammo more evenly across the map, and then bring it back down, I reckon that game is out there somewhere, but it's hidden underneath 100 shitty Steam Greenlight games.
Well, I did like in Dead Space. Left 4 Dead 2, where they gave you the melee weapons. I think if they'd done that, but except with a breaking mechanic,
Right.
that if you use this so many times, it will break or it will become blunt.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you're hacking through skull, you're hacking through bone,
The weapon
nervous
becomes
system.
ineffective
Yeah.
eventually.
I suppose if you've got a blunt weapon, it could just snap. If they introduce something like that, basically what I'm looking for is a proper, true survival horror game
That isn't shit.
that isn't shit.
Yeah.
Because
There's enough bad
yeah,
ones.
there's enough bad ones out there. I mean, Zombie got close to it, but even at that, Zombie was still very easily beatable.
Which one's that? I've not played
It
that.
came out on the Wii U originally. It was called Zombie U.
Oh, Zombie U, yeah, that
yeah,
one.
but then they brought it to Xbox and Xbox One and PS4 and just called it Zombie. And the whole point of that game is you're in London, you've got to make it out of London, but whenever you die, that character is dead, you have to come back with a new character and you drop all your stuff. The major point to that was you cannot pause the game. It's Dark Souls level of just kind of difficult. You cannot pause, you get no respite. You basically
Right.
have to find a quiet room, then open your inventory.
I think I might have seen some of that gameplay, but I think it was someone that's trying to port it onto the Oculus Rift or something like that, like
Yeah.
a VR console, and it gets pretty intense. I like the look of it when it was done there.
Yeah.
And it might have been one of those games that no one gave it really a fair shake for the hardcore audience because it was on the Wii U,
Yeah.
which is understandable because
Nothing really gets the fair treatment on the Wii U. Although speaking of fair treatment on the Wii U, I'm going to use this to launch into my kind of weekly or my follow-up to the Bayonetta and Corrin release.
Okay.
We spoke about it before the show. Corrin is fine. There's ways around him in competitive play or online play. Because what I do whenever the new characters come out, I go online and play a few matches as them and then play a few matches against them.
Okay.
So I played a few matches as Corrin, won my matches, I was fine with that. Corrin's fine, he has replaced Lucina in my list of mains,
Oh.
my main characters. Lucina was good, but she was too much of a Marth clone and I didn't like using Marth that much. But there was just something about Lucina I liked using. But yeah, Lucina has been dropped from the list. She's on my reserve bench now. Corrin has taken her spot. Then I went and played as Bayonetta and consistently I was wiping the floor with people. I think, right, I'm not that good. Well, I'm decent at the game, but at this level, beating people that I know that play Smash, that were playing the matches or that popped up just during random matches and who are really good at playing their characters. I mean, one of my friends that I met, one of the people I've met playing Smash back in Glasgow when I was at a shitty tournament
Right.
in Glasgow. His Captain Falcon is ridiculous. Is ridiculously good. Like 0 to 80 hit or 80% combos within no time flat. I've managed to beat him consistently with Bayonetta, and I'm sitting thinking she can't be that good a character. So I went back to play as Ike, who's my main character. I will always pick him above any other character, and I just done a few matches against specifically Bayonetta. It took me a while to get a match as Bayonetta because there's no matchmaking.
Alright,
You just
can't
jump
say,
into a
I
match.
want to fight Bayonetta.
Yeah, you jump into a match and it could be potluck. You could fight 3 Bayonettas, you could fight 3 Clouds, you could fight a Mario, a Link and a Peach or whatever. So I went in that match and there was 2 Bayonettas and a Link. Beat the Link fairly easily. I took down one of the Bayonettas, but the other Bayonetta was a bit more savvy and he kept spamming, or the player that was using Bayonetta just kept spamming her counter, which puts you in witch time, which slows you down, but it puts you in witch time slowdown for about 8 seconds, which is far too long in a
Huge,
fighting game.
yeah.
And all her moves can be comboed into each other, and she can insta-kill you in one combo, and again it would take about 15 seconds for her to pull off this combo consecutively. Because she can hit you up with her up B, then side B a couple of times, then she'll do another combo to juggle you. Then from that move she can just do her side A, which sends you flying off the stage and you pretty much have no chance of recovering. So in that end, Nintendo, hurry up and fucking patch Bayonetta. She needs to be less broken for any form of competitive play to continue. And people out there want to use Bayonetta. I can guarantee that a lot of people that I know would like to use Bayonetta in competitive play, but she will be banned consistently in tournaments if she's left to be played the way she is. It's too broken. It breaks the gameplay so much. Even high level characters or high tier characters like Meta Knight, Sheik, Diddy Kong and Zelda are getting annihilated. And to an extent Zero Suit Samus as well, but Zero Suit Samus and Bayonetta kind of play the same way.
Right.
They're all getting their ass kicked by Bayonetta right now. I mean, my lower tier characters like Shulk, Ike and Ryu don't even stand a fucking chance. And I'm pretty damn good with Ryu because you can use the Street Fighter inputs in Smash, which I do think is pretty cool.
Alright.
And if you do that, it's a stronger hit. So I'm firing at Hadokens for double damage. I still cannot beat a Bayonetta consistently. I might be able to beat one Bayonetta, but then I'll go play another one and I'll just get the shit kicked out of me.
So what do you think should take it back? Like less time in witch time?
Cut down witch time, cut down her combos because it seems to. It's called a scoop combo. What it is, you'll finish your
You
combo.
take him up and
Yeah.
you move him.
No, a scoop combo is you'll finish one combo, you'll
Right.
hit the ground, reset, and catch them on the way up because you're hitting the ground, scooping back up. It's called a
Okay.
scoop. It might be a scoop or a swoop combo, I can't remember. And she can do that pretty much consistently, and there's no drop off between it.
Yeah.
There's no. Oh, right, on the third scoop combo, she'll go to the right and miss you completely. No, she hits you again.
She just keeps bouncing along,
Yeah.
picking her back up, and she just bounces you off the stage.
it's ridiculous. I mean, even Mewtwo King, who's one of the big name Smash players, he picked Bayonetta up, and within minutes he was pulling off these fancy combos. It's me think, motherfucker, what have they done to this character? It's so bad. They need to patch her to make me go back into playing Smash weekly like I used to do. I used to love going on Smash online and playing a few matches as Ryu or Shulk or whoever it was I was playing as. Now I can't do that because everybody's playing fucking Bayonetta and Cloud. Cloud needs a fucking patch as well.
You did the finger waving. This is legitimate stuff here.
Cloud is so broken as well because he has a limit mechanic. If he charges up his limit break, all of his B moves get powered up. So if he does down B, he releases a tornado that doesn't do much damage because it has a lot of launch power.
Right.
It can send you flying off the stage with no recovery. It'll eat your recovery, so you can't double jump, you can't up B or anything, or side B to recover. It eats your recovery. And if you do Braver, which is a side B, it becomes it's a 4-hit combo that deals about 20% damage each hit.
Each hit. That's pretty intense, yeah.
And the neutral B, it releases a blade beam, and if that hits you, it does about 50% damage, then launches you straight off the bat. Up B is his, I think it's a move called, is it Cross Slash? No, his up B is Braver, sorry. The other move was Omni Slash.
Right.
It does the big 8-hit combo. If he does his up B Braver, it deals normal damage, but again, it launches you stupidly far. Again, Cloud needs a patch. All the new DLC characters, I would say, need a patch, with the exception of Ryu. He needs a fucking buff. Because he doesn't deal anywhere near as much damage as he should.
I'm now worried about my game of this in about 4 days' time.
Yeah, dude, watch out for Bayonetta. I could show you how to play the game. I still could not show you how to effectively beat a Bayonetta. Because there are going to be a few people at Megabytes that play Bayonetta. Because when I went to that tournament, I went to play a few matches through at Megabytes. So many people used Mewtwo, who had just been recently released, and no one knew how to compete against it. I especially didn't know how to compete against it. And I got Mewtwo earlier than anybody else. It's impossible to do. So when you play a few matches yourself, just watch it for a Bayonetta. Go into team battle and play, hopefully, with somebody that's better than you. Because they can just go and deal with the Bayonetta with you. Because you said you play Ike, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, just go play Ike and hit things.
That's my grand strategy, I'll be honest. This is
Smash thing.
Yeah, Ike Smash. Yeah. I think we're done for... I think we're done with what we've consumed this week.
Yeah, because that took, 50 minutes?
Yeah, it took about 50-something minutes.
We've done a lot this week.
Other than wanting to say, I watched the Ruby finale, and I kind of don't want to talk about it, because my main 3 characters in that show are all in various states of disarray, and I'm now really worried. It's looking really good, but I've just kind of... huge chunks have been taken out of my 3 favourite characters, and what they can do in the next couple seasons. I don't want to talk about it. It was a weird thing. There's a couple of us watching the lab, and we all walked in and just we all looked at each other and went, okay, how do we start this conversation that we don't really want to have but really need to have at some point, or
it's
we're
that
going to
awkward
have
moment
a bad day.
in a kind of family gathering when it's who talks first. Is it me? Do I break the silence, or is it somebody else?
Yeah.
Or in my family, it's more of who puts the kettle on.
Yeah.
Everyone in the room wants a cup of tea, but we're just filling the room out to see who moves and puts the kettle on, because then they have the job of making tea for everybody.
Yeah, but we ended up breaking that silence with the awesome news that Meg Turney is going to be MCM Comic Con for London and Glasgow.
Yeah,
So,
they just count Glasgow as Scotland because they don't do any other cons in Scotland yet. There's a plan to do Aberdeen because I know the kind of showrunner for MCM.
Right.
He gets called Granny Gertrude.
Right.
Don't know why. He's a fucking hysterical dude. When you go, you'll see him. He runs the cosplay contest.
Okay.
Dude's fucking hysterical. And he said there's a plan to expand, and hopefully there's another convention in Scotland that want to be brought into the MCM banner.
Right.
So they're kind of hoping to take them over, or maybe even kind of supplant them and say, right, you can run your own show, but we'll give you MCM backing. We'll give you our vendors. We'll give you our kind of cosplay judges, that kind of thing.
We'll associate with you.
Yeah.
It won't be a full takeover.
It'll still be your thing, but you'll be operating under the MCM banner, which I think is pretty good. But this year, with the introduction of Meg Turney, or the bringing in of Meg Turney as a special guest, it's made me quite hopeful for other better guests, because I went last year and the guests weren't that good. I'm a huge Red Dwarf fan, and Robert Llewellyn was there, so I thought, fuck it, I'm waiting through this line to go meet Robert Llewellyn. He's a fucking hysterical guy, genuinely funny guy, genuinely nice guy. Had a lot of time to sit and talk to him, but there was about 18 other people standing behind me, so I couldn't really. If I had the time and a recording device, I would have tried to get a soundbite for the podcast. But
I don't think we were running a podcast back then, though.
Yeah,
alright.
We done.
Oh yes, in September.
Yeah.
So tickets are still available.
Yeah. I have bought my weekend tickets.
Bought my weekend.
Priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird that that's the only thing available on their website.
Yeah, because they sell it quickly, and with Meg Turney being announced, they will sell it even quicker, because I know at least 12 other people, including you, that will buy tickets just to go see Meg Turney.
I found about this through like a group that I'm on Facebook, and the entire group just just kind of erupted in, oh crap.
Yeah.
And just rushing to buy tickets. But I went and got mine last night, and it was still there. I mean, that was Monday the 15th, so, you know.
Yeah, I got my tickets as well, because I had a kind of, oh yeah, and an oh fuck moment. Because it was, oh yes, Meg Tunney's going to be there. She's one of the better YouTube personalities that I've seen, because I just like the stuff that she puts out. She was good, really good on SourceFed, and I've not really caught up with most of her stuff on Rooster Teeth, but from you, she's doing quite well.
Yeah.
Despite her kind of medical condition, she's doing really, really well. She's done an update on that recently that I kind of picked up on, just because I seen that she was going to MCM. I thought she might have fired up a video saying,
yeah,
Scottish fans, I'm going to be in Glasgow, come and meet me, give me Scottish delicacies or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was quite happy that she was going to be there, and I was like, yes, Meg Turner's going to be there. Ah, fuck, I need to get tickets now.
Yeah, because Rooster Teeth fans will just swarm that thing.
I just don't want to see too many X-Ray and Valve cosplays. There was 9 of them last year.
Oh, I love it.
Then again,
it's so good.
There's, just to prepare you, Colin, specifically for MCM, you will see every form of body-shaped Deadpool cosplay. You will see more Harleys that you will want to see. Again, variable body shapes.
Right.
And especially with One Punch Man being as big as it is
Yep,
this
that was
year,
the thing I was just about to jump on.
you will see a shit ton of Saitama, Genos, fucking Tatsumaki. You will see maybe even Thunderfang, all these different...
It's mostly going to be Saitama, because that's so easy. I was thinking about it as well. I was like, okay, if I have to cosplay, I could easily
I've
pull
got
off
my
Saitama.
costume sorted.
I could just shave my beard, and then I'm already bald. The problem is that I watched like the first 10 seconds of One Punch Man, the intro thing. I was like, okay, I get this.
Yeah.
Blue Piccolo wants to destroy the planet. Now he's a Pokemon monster. I'm gonna fuck. And the bald guy who looks like an egg just punched the guy and killed him in one punch, funnily enough. But I'll maybe sit down and watch it. I'm really pissed there's still not a dub for that.
Yeah, not
So
yet.
that
It's
tells
too
me
fresh.
that everyone is watching this subbed.
Yeah.
At which point, fuck off, because I'm not watching subbed anime.
Now I watched it all, it was pretty funny. But yeah, you'll see a lot of Saitama and
Because it's so easy. It's like red boots, belt, red
yellow
cape,
jumpsuit,
yellow
white
yellow
or red
morph
jumpsuit.
suit.
Yeah, yellow morph suit, white or red cape.
Yeah, white or red, and then like
Gloves.
red marigold gloves.
Yeah, red marigold gloves. You're sorted.
Like,
Bald head.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm like halfway there by accident.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it.
Although I got my costume sorted because last year when we were waiting in the queue, there was a guy dressed up as one of the Planet of the Apes monkeys.
Right.
And because James had his hood up and he had his hair dangling out of it, the guy kept walking past him and was going, look, it's Jane Silent Bob. And I went, I'm going to go Silent Bob. So I've got my trench coat, I've got my snapback. All I need to do is just find a black jumper and everything else is sorted.
Do you not need 3/4 length shorts for that?
No,
No?
I can go with my shorts.
Okay.
To be fair, I'm not going as 100% accurate Silent Bob. I wasn't as big as Kevin Smith was when he done.
It's going to be really funny because someone's going to turn and go, that's not canon. You know, I'm just wearing shorts. Fuck off.
I'm wearing jeans instead of jean short.
This will be my first experience at a proper geek con. The only thing
Bring deodorant.
I'm bringing deodorant. The one thing I've been like kind of forewarned about is that asses will be grabbed.
Yeah.
By accident, on purpose, doesn't matter. The point is, I'm gonna hit the squat rack, make it good.
Yeah, I mean, my plan was if I go with Silent Bob, I'm not going to be in shape, but
Right.
the way the weight is dropping, there's every chance Silent Bob might not be so fat.
It's Jane, silent but still very confident in himself, Bob.
Just taking off the jacket and just
Yeah.
abs.
Hello, ladies.
It won't be that bad, but put it this way, James Kerr, he's cosplaying as Jay. There's a
Right.
chance that he might be fatter than me by the time it comes on.
Oh, one thing just before we go on, because I remember that James, the streaming friend, reminded me of the fact that Sean Poe's leaving Funhouse. I don't know if you're familiar with Funhouse.
I have seen a few things about Sean Poole leaving.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it seems that he's moving on. He's returning. He's from Washington originally, so he's way up north, and it's like one of those weird things where he's lived in rain his whole life. Now that he lives in California, where it never rains, he misses it, and there's a lot of little subtle things about home life that he's missing right now. So he's heading back up north, but it means he can't work with the guys in California anymore. So it's like one of those really bittersweet things of like, this will make you happy, but I'm not happy that you're leaving. I miss you, my friend. But he's going to continue his streams, which are very popular. I'm subscribed to him on Twitch, even though I don't watch it very much, but his shows are entertaining when he's on there.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to see him happy, because apparently he's been unhappy for a while. Like, before he started Funhouse, which had its year anniversary just a couple of weeks ago.
Has it really been going for that long?
Yeah, it's a weird thing that,
Fucking hell.
I was thinking, like, I've only been enjoying Rooster Teeth content for a year. That's nuts, considering just how much shit of theirs I have.
Going back to Meg Tunney, do you think she'll bring Gavin with her?
Well, that was a question that came up as well with a friend of mine who, it was great. I was sitting there with my lunch break and I got to tell him, and I knew because it'd be the first thing he does is he checks his phone, that would be the first thing that pops up because we've got the same interests. I'm like, I want to be the one to tell you this, but Meg Turney Comic Con, he's going to the London one as well. So she's going to both, he's going to both. And I don't know because Rooster Teeth have made hints at, because they did RTX Australia, they have hinted at doing other cons as well. It's just a question of logistics. I mean, how they transported like 19 key staff members over to Australia, and then also hidden like another 4 or 5 like as a surprise. And it effectively shut down production in Austin for them for a long while. And I know it's
understandable if they're shipping most of the big name staff over to a con.
Yeah, like most of the face people is the kind of on-screen talent is what they refer to themselves as. But I mean, they've all got like behind the scenes jobs as well. They're not just on camera constantly. So that shuts down production. So doing it again in the UK, which is what they kind of hinted at, they want to do one for Europe, and they think the UK is the best place for it. So doing like appearances for various groups would make sense.
Do you think they're building up to an RTX UK?
That's
RTX
what I
Scotland?
think they're building for, and like it's a weird discussion that we've been having in this group at the same time. I want us to try and like improve the UK's Rooster Teeth standing so that we just kind of go, well, the fan base is here, we're all really good, we're all really well behaved, like we're ready, you know, whenever you guys want to come across. But it's just a question of how do you do that. I mean, they had last year, I think down in the London Comic Con, they had Adam Kovic from Funhouse, and then they had Jack Patillo from Achievement Hunter show up at the MCM there. So they do try and they do go through MCM again, but it's a question of how much.
MCM is the biggest, is the equivalent to San Diego over here.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing, I mean, Glasgow Film and Comic Con is mainly for your older movie buffs.
Yeah.
People
it's a movie place.
Yeah, people that like to go and see the likes of David Prowse, who I've met every single Glasgow Film and Comic Con I've went to, I've met Darth Vader himself.
Nice.
Robert Englund, I'm pretty sure that guy recognises me now.
That's a pretty high accolade to give yourself.
Because every time he walks past me, he just goes, "Hey dude," I don't know if he's just being friendly, but he walked past me and I was, I'm fucking Freddy Krueger. He just walked past me and he went, "We'll stay there in 5 minutes, we'll be walking past you again." I was like,
I'll do it!
I will stay here, Freddy Krueger. I will stay here. And Christopher Judge from Stargate Atlantis, he was walking through the convention and he's
mainly SG1, but I do like the.
Does he Stargate Atlantis?
Yeah, he's appeared in an episode of SG Atlantis.
Wrong.
Yeah, but
I
it's
meant
just because
SG1.
we've called you out in Atlantis before.
Yeah,
and you're
I never watched it though. I never watched Atlantis.
No, he does appear in one episode of. It's a really good one though.
Stargate SG1. He was waiting to get in somewhere, but there was a huge crowd of people waiting to get in, and he was talking to people. Nobody was really listening because he had his cap on. No one really recognised it was him, even though he's the only insanely tall, like muscly black dude kicking up at Glasgow at that time.
Yeah.
And he just went, "Fuck you, British love a queue." And I went, "I wouldn't say we're British, mate. I'd call us Scottish." And I turned around and seen it and was like, I just kind of thought to myself, "Your secret's safe with me." And then James came back in as he walked away and he was like, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "Oh, that dude you're waiting to see." The guy that was in Batman that got his eye burst open by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I mean, if you're going to get your eye burst open on a Batman set, get fucking Batman to do it, not Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Unfortunately, Christopher Judge has also been in Sharknado.
Oh, dude.
And there's like a really bad clip of that. Like, I saw it and I'm like, oh no! All the goodwill for like 10 years of being teal'c.
Yeah.
So, yeah, MC, I'm going for it. I reckon, I'm sure you're going to end up going to it as well.
Yeah, the only problem is I wouldn't even try and do an episode while we're there. Try and do an episode breakdown afterward, because we will not get the time to sit down and record an episode when we're there.
What if I told you that we had a way to record on the move? As in, I had a lapel mic.
I'd say I just spent money on a dictaphone for nothing then.
You have a dictaphone?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. We have some technology to work out after the episode's done.
Yeah, I bought a dictaphone for college reasons, because in the losses...
Wait, as in literally just you push a button and record into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like a 32... It's not like a tiny thing, it's a fucking like two-way microphone thing.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That would actually be better. I think we can work something out here.
Purely because I was sick and tired of having to handwrite minutes, so I just fired the dictaphone in the middle of the room and said, right, we're going to record minutes using this.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I reckon with our...
Oh, and if we're talking about lapel mics, I could get you a handful of those as well.
Oh shit, I paid money for one.
My dad's a DJ.
Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. We'll work something out afterwards, but I think we'll move on from MCM Comic Con hype that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, because it will get more and more as they release more guests. Release more guests? Motherfucker. I say release more guests like they have a cage.
The wild.
Run, Meg 20, be free! Go into the moors of Scotland!
He frees you. You see purple hair running off into the distance.
Just one kind of marshal for the Comic Con just wiping a tear away from his eye. She's free now. And Gavin's just going, dude,
That was my girlfriend.
fuck.
We had
Get the tranquilizer and go and get her back.
The problem is we had so much kind of hyped up discussion about it between me and a few other geeks in the lab at the time. We then had to explain who Meg Turney was, and then trying to find a picture of Meg Turney that doesn't make it look...
That shows her face.
Well, one that makes it look like you don't have some kind of horrible fetish is kind of tricky.
I'm not gonna lie, if you Google image search Meg Turney, it is just her ass. And she's insanely proud of that ass for a good reason.
Yes, she spends time on it. Spend time on your ass. Which we will be doing in preparation for MCM Glasgow.
I will be hitting the gym.
Squats.
Yeah.
Squat deep.
Because I will be coming back from Spain, probably in a worse shape than I left.
Yeah.
Just because of heat, probably burning away all my energy stores. I'll probably come back skinny.
Yeah. So I think we can go to Japan versus Florida.
Yeah, which I'm not going to rush through because I have the article up on my phone, and my phone is burning so damn hot that you could fry an egg on it.
You go for it then. You get yours done.
No, I want to hear yours.
No,
mine's isn't that good.
Well,
I want to hear yours.
You
had so much confidence in your story. I want to hear it.
Headline: Orlando teen on hoverboard loses balance and accidentally kills cousin.
Oh, I've heard the story.
Yes.
I heard the story.
And
it's so fucking dumb, but it's so good.
Yeah, in Orlando, Florida, a teen was riding a hoverboard holding a gun, apparently lost his balance. The gun then goes off as he falls and shoots his 13-year-old relative who was playing video games.
Yep.
According to an affidavit from Orange County Police, they were called to the home in Orlando on Sunday after a report the boy had accidentally shot in the back of the head. So, falling off
Did you hear the end of that story?
No.
The owner of the gun was then subsequently charged.
Oh yeah, because he is a felon as well. He shouldn't have had the handgun in the first place. And hoverboard, like these hoverboard things. When Mike Tyson's falling off the fucker, he's a boxer. I know he's had some up and down times. He's not still a professional athlete, but that guy must have an excellent sense of balance, even if he has been repeatedly punched in the head. When that fucker falls off one, you don't buy one.
Yeah, definitely.
Give them some time to work out the gyroscopes to make it accessible to your fat ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking horrible. But at the same time, like, holy crap, Florida! This is just perfect versus material.
Yeah.
So that is. There's not really much more to the story other than the initial kind of a guy who shouldn't have had a gun left his gun unlocked and then let his kid play on a hoverboard
dumbass kid with
the
a
gun.
hoverboard had the gun. Further proof that guns should be for the military and the armed forces. Take them away from Joe Public. Take them away from the polices.
So yeah, that's Florida's contribution to the nightmare of today. What is yours?
Mine's just kind of light-hearted in comparison.
Yeah.
As we know, Valentine's Day passed. Most people dealt with it in their own little sort of way. Most people either probably sat and watched some form of pornography to make the day pass quicker.
I saw Deadpool.
Other people saw Deadpool. I was working on Sunday. But this elephant decided to rampage through a set of parked cars in China, just destroying them left, right and centre.
Awesome.
And it's the tagline or the blurb at the top of the article is "Heartbroken elephant wrecks cars in China."
I think just because it's funnier to imagine an elephant just going to town on some cars, I reckon you've got that one.
Yeah, a 13-year-old pachyderm elephant, name that I cannot pronounce, had been in competition with another male for the affections of a would-be Valentine. Ultimately, the 8-year-old female chose the other elephant and decided to leave the rampaging elephant in the friend zone.
Ooh. And then fucking smashed cars on them, like.
In a fit of rage at being made irrelevant.
Haha! I like it.
During the mating
season. Say it again,
season.
Louder.
No.
Mike didn't pick it up. I want you to say
no,
it again.
Fuck you.
Say it, my dirty
On
slut.
principle, I will not say that word again. And just decided to beat the living shit out of some parked cars outside the zoo.
Awesome. Just for the Valentine's Day angle, I think that just kind of makes it funny. Speaking of watching pornography, do you know that it's not so bad now because Pornhub have decided to help save the whales? If you feel like jerking off between February the 8th, which has already happened...
If the campaign is not called Wank for Whales, it's doing something wrong.
I don't know what the campaign's officially called, but February 8th to February 29th, Pornhub will be donating money, roughly about 1 cent per every 2,000 videos, or 2,000 views. They will be sending that much money to a basic whale conservation society.
I think they will be surprised at how quickly they meet their goals.
Yeah, they took a quick kind of rough tally considering that there's 27,000 views per hour or something like that. Hold on, I'll just get the stats up here from I Fucking Love Science. If you're not subscribed to that, you should be.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely brilliant. The site receives over 60 million visitors per day.
Jesus.
So, at 1 cent for every 2,000 videos viewed between February 8th to 29th, going to the Moclipsological Society, MCS, they reckon that right now it should reach about $27,000
Jesus Christ.
for a month of wanking. Well done, porn addicts.
Yep.
You're my favourite type of sticky people.
You hear that, people who make Krispy Kreme donuts? You're no longer Colin's favourite sticky people.
I'm trying to lose weight. Well, the best thing is that the reason behind it is that humans are not the only mammals that engage in sexual activity for other reasons than procreation. Cetaceans, whales, dolphins, and porpoises are sexual animals. So it's a weirdly logical. They kind of thought this one out. It's like every now and again, Pornhub does something like this. They I think it was at one point through, I think it's like World Earth Day or something like that. They did the same thing. It's like one day, and they decided, let's just for every couple views that videos get, we'll plant a tree, and they planted like thousands of trees or something like that. It was ridiculous, just because 60 million hits per day.
Porn doing good for people.
Porn does good things for people, and it was all to celebrate World Whale Day on February 13th, which seems like a horrible joke about fat people the day before Valentine's Day, but has apparently resulted in, we're hoping, about 27,000. So if you feel like jerking it, do the good thing and visit Pornhub so you can save a whale. I myself deposited a pod full earlier this morning. Hey-oh! Dom's not smiling anymore. He stopped being happy.
I'm not gonna lie, it's the amount of Deadpool jokes you've cracked.
I love just referencing the fact that
I haven't seen it.
you were so excited. I mean, I know James. I think we can get him up and talk about it as well at some point.
Yeah,
I
because
think
he's waiting for a free day and he's going to probably drag a few folk out to see it. So I think he's going to see it with some of his League of Legends friends from up in Glasgow, so he'll probably go and see it with them.
Right.
I just want to go see the film because everyone else is. I hate being that guy that's so behind everything. I'm never usually him.
That's not my me.
Exactly. We've switched
You're stuck in that
we've
zone.
switched fucking roles.
Fucking suck it. You can apparently, by the way, that is smashing box office records.
Yeah.
There was stats being thrown up this morning that like the Hulk movie made 88 million, Thor makes like about 80 or something like that. Iron Man made like 105, and they're like gradually climbing up. But for US box office, Deadpool's hitting 135 million.
Yeah.
Worldwide, about 282 million is what they're talking about in Talk Without Rhythm's special on it. But 282.1 million or something like that worldwide on opening weekend.
Yeah, that's a pretty big number. And speaking of big numbers, I'm going to use that to launch into Batman vs Superman news because there's been a big bomb dropped. Despite initial high internal praise from the internal audience at Warner Brothers, the higher-ups at Warner Brothers are now very, very terrified about Batman vs Superman. They're worried that it might not land with the core comic book movie watching audience,
Right.
because they're too used to the Marvel style of popcorn movies where it's set up, development, payoff. The
AKA normal movie planning.
normal movie planning. They think that Batman vs Superman is going to come in and shake up the status quo so much that the normal movie going audience are just going to think, nah, that wasn't that good, I'm going to stick to my Marvel movies. They're now, I think they're now just getting the weight of, we're going up against Marvel with their pre-established universe.
Right.
We might not do that well. They're actually talking about it to the point where the Justice League movie might be cancelled in favour of a solo Batman movie, because they've seen Batman being played by Ben Affleck and they think, this guy's good, we're worried about the other stuff around him. He's solid. Jeremy Irons as Alfred is solid.
I saw that as well. I didn't pick up on the fact that that's going to be Alfred. I didn't put that one on the fucking
Alfred.
banner. I just saw, I was watching a trailer for it at the start of a YouTube video, and I was like, wait, that's Jeremy Irons. Holy crap,
Yep.
he's in this? Like, I'm now more interested because he's
playing a really, really good Alfred.
Yeah.
Really good Alfred.
not ancient Alfred either, which
No.
is, I know Michael Caine was doing a really good job,
Really good Alfred. Yeah,
but at the same time, like, a reasonably aged Alfred is quite a good idea.
you kind of get the sense that they're almost the same age. Obviously, he'd need to be a bit
It's like
older
about
than Bruce.
15 years, but not
Yeah.
like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's about that range.
They're worried that people might actually lose their jobs if Batman vs Superman does not make even into the billion sales, because
Into the billions.
into the billions, it's a fucking tall order, but that's how high it needs to be for people to keep their jobs at Warner Bros. There's been that much money pumped into this movie because the budget at the end of it was 200 million, which is a
Holy
fairly tall order
Yeah.
for a comic book movie. And obviously for me it's going to pay off because I've been waiting for this film for a while. I've been wanting another Batman movie. I've seen some clips of Ben Affleck as Batman in the latest and final trailer for Batman vs Superman. It's just Batman cleaning house. He puts someone through the floor, he punches someone into a wall and the wall shatters.
Yeah.
And then there's that final fucking beautiful scene where they're fighting on the rooftop and it's armoured Batman and Superman goes to punch him and he just sticks up the gauntlet and stops him dead and Superman shits his blue and red knickers.
Yeah, I did see that little shot. I've sat and watched that trailer, and you were saying
I watched it
that
like 9 times.
Batman does put a lot of people down.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder how much it is, and it's like literally punch down, punch down, punch down.
Put someone's head
Karate
through the floor.
chop, yeah, and then like a proper slam move, and I'm like, okay, Batman has been hitting the gym,
Batman is not fucking around.
and he's here to just murder people.
Yeah, they are going for the Dark Knight Returns type Batman, where he is cleaning up crime. He's not fucking around anymore. He needs to clean up crime. If he dies, Batman dies. There's not going to be any more Batman. He needs to clean up crime while he's still alive.
Yeah, and I was watching it, and it was that good shot at the end. Like, I didn't recognize it because for a moment I forgot he was fighting Superman for some reason in the Batman v Superman trailer.
Yeah.
It goes to like Superman throws a punch, and then Batman puts up the block, and you're like, oh, cool. Oh snap!
And
Yeah.
we finally got a clip of Wonder Woman's voice.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of going for a bit of a European Italian voice because she's sounding a bit American, but the way she says "I don't" sounds a bit
Right.
kind of more of a proper accent. So I think they're kind of going with a mixture of accents. Either way, I'm fine with it, as long as they're not going for a proper British accent, which wouldn't fit Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Or
where are we, Governor?
just like, I'm Wonder Woman, and she's, as long as she's not Mary Poppins, I'm fine with it. But on the opposite scale of that, as long as she's not, I'm Wonder Woman, I'm here to fuck shit up, and she's like hitting her fucking shield with her sword
Yeah.
multiple times before she's running into battle.
I'm still waiting on Aquaman though.
Yeah, they've not shown Jason Momoa.
This is getting like kind of worrying at this point where it's like,
I want to see what they're doing with the Flash, because I'm just worried, as previous episodes will say, I'm worried what this kid is going to do with the Flash.
Yeah, I don't know if they're just. I mean, this is supposed to be one of the last ones. There's not going to be much more teasing after this.
No, that with the blocking of the punch from Superman by Batman, that is the final trailer.
Right.
They're leaving us dry until March.
Huh, into it. I mean, it's not far away when you
That's
think
not far
about
away.
it.
It's
But at the
marked
same
in my
time-
goddamn calendar.
It's
I-
engraved in his mind.
Yeah.
It's actually, he got like a special surgery to put it on the back of his eyelids,
Yeah.
so he
Every
closes
time I
it.
close my eyes, it just says March 13th. That's going to be a busy weekend for me because Daredevil Season 2 comes out that week as well, and there was a trailer that I have not watched yet. I will watch it and come back with the next episode and we'll go, holy fuck, John Bernthal, it looks badass as Punisher.
That's what I've heard a lot of.
Yeah, and he looks psychotic as well.
Which is good. It's what
Yeah.
you want.
It's
from
what you want
someone
from
who is
Punisher.
The Punisher, yeah. I'm trying to think of what March 13th is. I'm hoping it's not a Friday because that'd be just hilarious. It's a Sunday. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it might be March 11th because no big movie ever comes out on a Sunday.
Nah, you normally. I mean, the American release is typically Tuesday for a reason I don't think anyone can fathom.
Yeah, then we get it the
ours is
following
a Thursday.
Thursday,
and-
Friday.
Yeah, because we want it for the weekend, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You got enough time for the hardcore audience to see it on the Thursday night after work.
I think that kind of speaks more about the Great British ethos of like, no, we will not put the enjoyable things at the start of the week because then we'll worry about it during our working days. We need
Yeah.
to be focused on work. Give us it on the following Friday.
Give us that on the Friday so that we may enjoy it after we've done it.
So after we finished our week's toil, we can go and enjoy a movie at the theatre.
Yes, the theatre.
Theatre, and grab a saucisson of popcorn and a beer which you're not allowed to take into the fucking movie.
I having seen popcorn bags, it's not a saucisson anymore.
Yeah,
it's a bucket.
It's a trough of popcorn almost.
Yeah. I'm waiting for somebody to do that. You get a trough of popcorn, you can put it across like 3 chairs, and you and your mates just munch away.
Munch away popcorn.
It's not far off. I'm
No,
not
it's
gonna
not.
lie.
I mean, if they can do it at the party sub, which is about 20 meters long or something, they can do the
Uh,
party popcorn, which is just a big trough for you.
I
and
know
your
that's in the US. I'm not.
mates. No, you can get it in Scotland.
Okay, we have an eating challenge.
Is this
I'm-
after the bucket of chicken nuggets?
Oh, the bucket of chicken nuggets, the party sub. I to be honest, I just want like a Subway platter to just
Yeah.
sit and munch
It
on.
pretty
I
much
reckon-
is just a Subway platter, but they
I
do it in
reckon I
such a
could
way
can
it's just in a
one of
big tub.
I reckon I could do it.
I think I could as well, because Subway sandwiches go down way too easy.
Yeah, and then it doesn't hit you till later. Like, oh crap, I'm so full.
The bread has expanded.
Oh no, it's swelling.
Carbohydrates, damn ye!
Oh, it's just glorious how gluttonous you could be if
Yeah.
you just let yourself slip.
Yeah, fuck, I'm hungry.
I know. I didn't have lunch today, and I think breakfast was granola. So it
mine's
might be time to
porridge.
just stop and have some food.
Yeah,
So until then, I've been Colin Graham,
I've been Tom Anderson.
and we've been talking Gibberpish. Well, we're very, very hungry.